What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. I'm back with some more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero news content and updates for you guys. And today we have some amazing gameplay footage here that was released by PlayStation in regards to the training mode and what it'll look like within Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Now, this is really cool. I feel like I can properly do an in-depth analysis on this since we do have specific combos and specific mechanics that we are shown for the game that I can give you guys comparisons and explain how they're all going to work. So everything that you guys need to know about the recent Ultimate training footage that was just released by PlayStation in regards to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero will be in this video right here. Now, first things first, what I thought is really interesting about this gameplay is that we do see adult Gohan here in his Dragon Ball Super outfit, and you can clearly tell that based off of him not having that one little string of hair or that bang of hair coming through his forehead. So you can very clearly see that this is the outfit, or this is the outfit for Gohan that we do see within the Tournament of Power specifically, or within Dragon Ball Super as a whole. So before anything, the official PlayStation site did come out and say for players new to the franchise or veterans who need a refresher, there is a robust training mode between Classic, Master, and Apprentice Piccolo and Gohan, with Goten also making a guest appearance. While the training mode covers the basic commands in the game, it also delves into the intermediate and advanced techniques for players to explore and alert players if they have successfully executed the actions covered in the instructions they are given. Battle training mode allows players to choose the level at which they want to start. Players can start at the beginning level, learning how to fly using basic ki blast and counters. So as you can see here by this first footage that I'm showing here on screen, this is just a basic new cinematic scene of Gohan being able to use a ki blast super. This is basically just any normal combo that we would see for someone like Gohan, nothing too special, but something that I do want to get into specifically is the actual fighting one-on-one mechanics that we do see with every single clip after this one and how it compares to Budokai Tenkaichi 3. So obviously something that is already known about the game is we are going to have the ability to switch in between the battles. So as you can see here on screen, you have Gohan here on screen, and he basically uses left on the D-pad and clicks square so he can switch in and out from Goten. So you're going to be able to alternate between that constantly throughout the game until you're able to no longer switch because one of your characters pass out or they die or they lose in battle or something like that. So with this next clip right here, I think this clip is probably one of the most interesting clips that we see within this training mode gameplay specifically, and that has to do with the fact that you sort of see Gohan use basically the Wild Sense technique to vanish through Piccolo. He basically hits him away and then charges forward again with another attack. Something that I think is really interesting about this gameplay specifically is the fact that you aren't able to just do this with charge rush attacks, but you are also able to do this with ultimate attacks. And they actually do display this with this scene on Goten right here, where he basically is in his sparking state and he is basically using the Wild Sense technique to vanish through Piccolo, and instead of charging forward with an attack, he uses his ultimate attack being the full power Kamehameha. And of course, this feature was in the original Budokai Tenkaichi 3 game. I'm showing it here on screen right now with Teen Gohan basically using the father-son Kamehameha, and it just looks absolutely phenomenal to see how you're able to incorporate the same kind of fighting mechanics within Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. When it comes to the fighting format and the mechanics to the game specifically, you could argue that it takes even more skill than Dragon Ball FighterZ, because this sort of fighting format for the early Budokai Tenkaichi games was very complicated, and it could be very tedious depending on the amount of combos and the amount of skills that you could incorporate with your combo. So either way, it just seems absolutely phenomenal to see. Now back to Gohan here, we do see this amazing footage of Gohan basically using the lightning or the vanishing assault move, where he basically vanishes through Piccolo and he basically charges down with a kick towards him. Again, this same sort of fighting mechanic was in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 with Ultimate Gohan specifically, where you're going to be able to basically charge through your opponent, and to continue your combo, you're basically going to be able to charge kick them down forward to the ground. But this new gameplay really reveals how players might be able to access Vanishing Assault to quickly gain the upper hand against unsuspecting opponents. What I really love about this specifically is that it also reveals how players can be able to follow up their attacks with additional movements, and that's just something that you always wanted, or that's something that you always needed to do within the original Budokai Tenkaichi 3 game, to see like you constantly follow following up your attacks, charging back and forth until the very end of your combo. So to see how we're going to be able to do that here in Sparking Zero it's refreshing to see. Now, this is the last bit of footage that we do have here, and it's in regards to counters that we do see here within the training mode. Now, I think this is really, really phenomenal because I noticed this right away, probably more before anything, that this same sort of counter format is within Budokai Tenkaichi 3. So as you can see here from the Sparking Zero footage, Gohan basically does a backflip or a cartwheel towards the side, and then he puts his arm up, and then he basically counters Piccolo's punch attack. And that is, again, within Budokai Tenkaichi 3. The same sort of flip format again, so it seems like we're going to be able to have the flying back and forth and the charge flying back and forth format within the game. And when we're up close to our opponent, just like it was in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, we're going to be able to flip around and basically engage in a up-close personal battle with our opponents. And I really, really love how balanced that they're also making this game, because with doing it this way, we are also going to be able to counter rush attacks, so people don't catch us in infinite rush attacks back and forth over and over and over again, up until the point where we're going to get into like 100 to a 200 hit combo, which was very, very possible within the original Budokai Tenkaichi 3 game. We also see the second sort of counter right here, where you're basically going to be able to vanish right behind your opponent using the Wild Sense move, the same way it was in Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I hope that they do keep a sense of balance with this specifically, because there were scenes, or there was aspects in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 vanishing back and forth like over and over and over again between our opponents within the game, and that's just because there was no balance with the game. You would literally just keep going until someone fumbles, and then you basically land the hit. So I hope that they keep a sort of balance with this, so we like don't run into an issue like that. But it really, really is cool how they're keeping it balancing enough so that we aren't basically effed over by constant rush attacks by our opponents. Either way, they are really maximizing the potential of the fighting mechanics and the fighting format for the game specifically, with how we're going to be able to utilize our ultimate attacks, with how we're going to be able to utilize our counters, with how we're going to be able to utilize our rush attacks. This is going to be a well-balanced game when it comes to the fighting format specifically. Will the characters be well-balanced? I would not say so. I think there are going to be characters that are way more broken compared to, like, for example, I think Hit is going to be way more broken than a character like Gohan or something like that. But I don't think any arena fighter game has any sort of balance when it comes to every single character. I think some characters are just naturally better, or all-around better characters compared to others. Yeah, that's all I have for today's video. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this training footage here specifically. Looks absolutely phenomenal, and it's actually really, really refreshing to see how we're able to basically consist of the same sort of fighting mechanics as we did in Budokai Tenkaichi 3. So I feel like when people say that this is the Raging Blast series and the Budokai Tenkaichi series basically doing the fusion dance, and this is the final product, I feel like that's very, very accurate, especially after seeing this training footage here today. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Hit that notification bell if you want to be updated with anything Dragon Ball related, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.